Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 U.S. cruiser New Orleans. It has 9 main guns, 8 secondary guns, 75 AA guns, a top speed of 33.1 knots, total hull 35,400. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main battery, increased AA range, reduced flood and fire chance, faster rudder shift. And for my commander, situation awareness, basic survivability, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, lower cooldown on damage control, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Fault Line, and I spawned on the east side with the friendly aircraft carrier, so we can't lose this flank. We need to hold it at least long enough that the friendly aircraft carrier can get out of the area. The New Orleans is a great U.S. cruiser, much better than the Pensacola. The Pensacola just was awful from stock, and once you got upgrades, you became average, so you don't really get to feel any power in the Pensacola. Whereas with the New Orleans, she starts out pretty good. She doesn't have terrible turret traverse like the stock Pensacola, and you just upgrade your rate of fire and your AA platform, which is already pretty extreme. You are the best Tier 8 ship in the game to deal with aircraft. There's nothing like you. Not on the Japanese or the rest of the American classes. And we run into an enemy Mayhan. The Mayhan is the Tier 7 U.S. destroyer, and she's not very good. Her torpedo range is awful, and it looks like he just sent them in the water. You kind of saw a little bit of splashing in the back. Oh, more torpedoes hit the water. I definitely saw them drop down. So we're going to try and stay away. We've angled away from the target while maintaining as many guns on target. And you can definitely see the torpedo indicator. Yep, he sent out 2 sets. The Mayhan is unique because it has a center-aligned torpedo system and then 2 single-sided torpedo systems. So you could potentially use 3 torpedo sets, but in actuality you're most likely going to only use 2 of your 3. He popped smoke, he hid in the gap, we did a lot of damage but we didn't kill, so we know there's at least an enemy destroyer in this area. And we got an Atago firing on us, we're going to fire on him. He's not using the Atago's default camo, he's trying to benefit from the concealment camo. I would also like to try an extreme Japanese cruiser with all the concealment skills and modules and just see how close I can get to the enemy. It might be fun. You might be able to outrange your torpedo systems on a couple of those ships. And we could see the friendly aircraft carrier is actually scouting that the enemy destroyer has gone through the gap completely and is exiting out the other side. We're trying to catch him as he's trying to escape. He's also warning us that he has enemy aircraft searching for him, trying to kill him, but he has 2 friendly cruisers near him. He should be fine. Now, interestingly, we are spotted, but we have pretty good detection compared to the Pensacola, something like 12.5 to 12.9 kilometers. So there has to be a enemy destroyer that's within that range in this opening, and we know that that enemy destroyer that we had worked on previously, the Mayhan, was not in line of sight. So there must be another destroyer on the east side somewhere in front of us. And we lose sight of the Mayhan. We don't get to fire before he goes invisible, and that's okay. Now, we broke contact with whatever is in the center area where the B capture point is. We angle knowing that we're taking fire, and you can see it in the distance, and we want to try and maneuver as erratically as we can to make sure they can't predict where our ship's going to be. A lot of times you'll take a ghost shell from a battleship and you need to be prepared and honest with yourself. Oh, there's the enemy destroyer. Never mind. Screw everything I was talking about. This guy is right next to that island, and we're going to try and wait for him to pop out. Now, we might not be within detection range, but there is an aircraft hovering over that should spot him. He's a Mutsuki. Oh, feel real bad for him. He has to play a Mutsuki. But we do 3k damage. We set him on fire. He's gonna let it burn. Okay, he's gonna let it burn. And this island is gonna get in the way. We're not gonna be able to fire again. Perhaps if we had the upgraded turret, we could fire, but we don't. We recently got the New Orleans, and it's much better. But still leveling up. Still grinding away at every ship in the fleet, trying my best to get you all the variety you deserve. Japanese, US, destroyer, cruiser, battleship, aircraft carrier. We know that the 2 enemy destroyers in the vicinity have taken damage, so they might be less inclined to be aggressive. We need to be careful, though, because they do have the range to attack us, and they know generally where we have gone. But obviously, cruisers are like the hard counter to destroyers, so anytime they get to show themselves, we're going to take them out. So we're going to head up the east side. We don't really have to worry about the destroyers. They were on the western half of the islands in this area, and if they want to come get us, they're going to come through a hornet's nest. I've got 3 cruisers, 2 battleships pushing up this line. And aircraft are under attack! What? A enemy destroyer is... 2 enemy destroyers are going through the gap at the same time! Wow! That is some balls. You guys are crazy! Why are you doing this? So we're going to obviously focus on the Mayhan. He's a lower health target. We can one-shot him. Loaded with HE, unload on the Mayhan, and the Mayhan is defeated. He showed his side. It was an easy shot either way. Got a Mutsuki. These guys are just fish at a barrel, man. Destroyers in this gap. This is not ideal. The Mutsuki shows his side. He sends out his front torpedoes. They hit the water. We adjust to half speed. We're trying to keep our guns on target. Secondaries are doing damage. And then we realize, oh, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to slow down enough. Full stop, full stop. Are we going to be able to dodge this torpedo? No. Nope. Torpedo makes contact, and we instantly regret the aggressive play that we tried to perform. We thought the torpedoes would harmlessly go past if we just changed our speed slightly. But unfortunately, they didn't. And if we would have stopped immediately when we saw the torpedoes hit the water, we probably would have avoided all the damage. Taking out 2 enemy destroyers in that situation is awesome, but they did basically give themselves to us on a silver platter. I mean, they came through a narrow gap. They couldn't maneuver. They couldn't use torpedoes. We should have killed them, and I should not have taken that torpedo. Hopefully, I don't regret it. We have 2 enemy cruisers that are somewhere around the western side of a small island, and we have to deal with that. Plus, it looks like an enemy battleship is coming to protect the eastern flank. The New Orleans is awesome. It's the top tier ship in the game. I should be able to carry my team, but I don't want to lose sight that going up against 3-1, 3-2, a battleship, showing my side, I could be vulnerable to death. So you need to maintain angling. You need to run away from the enemy, force them to fight on your terms, not theirs. We have yet to see the 2 enemy cruisers that were by the small island that's just to the west. Maybe they'll appear. Don't really know. But I don't want to be too close because the enemy battleship is headed in and I know he has range on me. If we were in the Pensacola, we would have been spotted well before this Otago came around the island. That enemy Fuso would have seen us. It just has terrible detection. We actually do pretty good salvo there. We set him on fire. He uses damage control. Okay, we can use this. He's going to be immune for maybe 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds. This salvo should be good, though, because it's outside of that 10-second range. And yes, we actually set him on fire with the immediate next salvo. Now he's going to burn for at least 45 seconds. That's about the time it takes a ship to put out fire with basic survivability. So, if we can keep this up, we can do a lot of damage. And since he shows his side, I load AP for my next salvo. We again do pretty good damage. We incapacitate a module for a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to help my friendly fight off the cruiser. He needs to come back and hide behind the island. My friends, the 2 battleships and the cruiser, are just now showing up to the party. Come on, guys, you need to hurry up. Now, this is an Imaki, not a Fuso. Way bigger threat. But he doesn't have the upgraded hull, so he might have just gotten the ship. Might not have. We need to be careful. He has a fire on the back half of his ship. Looks like he just put it out. I don't believe he put it out with damage control because this fire just stuck. If he would have used damage control, he would have been immune to this fire. But we do 6k damage and we set the fire. Oh no, the guns are on us. Angle the ship, angle the ship, angle the ship. That wasn't too bad. Ooh, a 5.4k and another fire. Great. 2 fires, over 500 damage. Oh, he definitely used damage control. but it would have been over 500 damage a second. The enemy aircraft carrier tries to send out torpedo bombers. Not today. Defensive fire, and the New Orleans say no thank you. And our salvos have been doing some pretty sick damage on the Amagi. 1, 2, 3 salvos with the help of friendlies would be the end of the Amagi. And we set him again on fire. 6k. Wow. This guy has just showed his side, and we've landed every shot in the right spot. Hitting the superstructure is the ideal location with HE. Somehow this Otago is still alive, and 2 friendly cruisers have died. How did they do that? It's 3v1. 4v1. Kill him. So we're just going to try and use our free salvos, because we have to wait for the Amagi to get around the island on this enemy Otago, and he's cleared the island, and he fires on us. Angle. Minimal damage? Yeah, minimal damage, yeah. Suck it. And one more good salvo should finish him off, if the fire doesn't finish him off. And it looks like they killed off the Otago. Finally, thank you. Shouldn't have been that hard. Wow, that was a terrible shot. And he puts out the fire. Come on, kill this guy. We don't want someone to take the kill. This is our kill. We've done so much damage to him. They try. But we are the victor. We take out the Amagi. And now our team has a point advantage, so we can be aggressive. Try and find the enemy aircraft carrier. We're spotted by something. Something sees us. We don't see it, though. We have a 12.5, let's say, kilometer base detection on the ship, and with firing, extends it 2 kilometers, so 14-ish. There must be an enemy ship within 14 kilometers of us. We haven't seen one, though, and we see that there are at least 3 enemy ships near our point, so we gotta be careful. What could it be? It could be a battleship, 2 battleships. It could be the aircraft carrier. All we see are 3 enemy cruisers, and an aircraft spotted us. We don't see the enemy aircraft, and our aircraft detection is much shorter. The Amagi was using a fighter. We're going to try and kill it. It's giving scouting information to the team. An enemy dive bomber is headed towards us, so we're going to send out our fighter. Our defensive fire is not up, though, but he's going to have one hell of an AA fire. Yep, one goes off. Let's kill another one. We kill another one. We kill all of them. They do get a bomb on us. And we have to use damage control because we are a cruiser. And we can't afford to be on fire for any extended period of time. Interesting. The aircraft carrier was that close. He must have been on this side of the map trying to hide. We see the Fuso, obviously. But the Japanese carrier is somewhere right in front of us, very close. Must be right on the edge of detectability. And once the enemy battleship moves into detection range, we're gonna fire on him. But I would love to fire on that aircraft carrier. It's obviously a huge prize. But Fuso in range, fully upgraded Fuso with the super tower of 40 stories. He's 50% life, and we should be able to do pretty good damage on the guy. We miss. That was okay. Could have been better. We need a fire. The enemy aircraft carrier shows up, but we're committed, in my opinion. The enemy aircraft carrier is going to hide. I don't want to show too much of my side. I really only want to poke out so I can fire my guns and then poke back. Keep a harsh angle against the Fuso. The Fuso, if you guys have watched my videos, is very dangerous, so you need to be very careful around this ship. Don't give too much of your side. And yep, the aircraft carrier is completely hidden from view, and the only target is the Fuso. We actually set him on fire. 2 fires! Awesome! Is he going to let the fire burn? Nope. He uses damage control. He's going to be immune for this salvo if we choose to fire right now, which we do.
Our team has taken the lead.
And we do nothing. Fire is completely out. Oh, this is a full-on salvo. I think he's using HE, which is an interesting choice. Not my first choice in a Fuso against a cruiser. But we know that he's fired. We know he has to wait for a cooldown. So we're going to try and bring our full guns to bear on the target. We were considering changing our angle and our secondaries actually set him on fire. Our primaries set him on fire. 2 fires, he has to let him burn. And now we've re-angled in a different orientation. And that's kind of what you need to do with battleships. You need to check their fire and maneuver during the reload cycle for them. And now he's unloaded completely. Looks like he switched to AP. It sounds like he switched to AP. And ally gets the kill. That's fine. We also killed the enemy aircraft carrier while engaging the Fuso, and that's the game. New Orleans game. Finally, I show you a New Orleans game. It was pretty good. 3 kills, those 2 destroyers. We helped take out the Amagi, and of course we did damage to that enemy Fuso. Base XP 2,214. We did something in the realm of 90 to 100k damage. I hope you enjoyed that game. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you next time.